who are looking for opportunities outside Singapore. As my mentor says, every speech should have a pleasant beginning and a nice ending, and they both should be close enough. So I'll make it as brief as possible for you. I'm also going to take this opportunity to talk about a nation which in the next 5 to 10 years is going to give immense business opportunities to young SMEs. The Prime Minister of this nation, on his visit to Singapore and many other nations that he's visited, has called it the land of opportunities. I'm sure you must have guessed by now, we're talking about India, and which is also called the startup nation. So now the premise behind this statement is based on the following points: why it's called the land of opportunities and why it's called the startup nation. India for the first time moved from 130 into the top 100 in the World Bank's ease of doing business. The average age of an Indian is 29 years, compared to 37 for China, which makes it a young population with great innovative ideas and more acceptability to new business entering the nation. Despite the fact that China's per capita GDP is almost 5 times that of India, the next 10 years sees slowing in China's growth rate because of industrial overcapacity and weak export growth. India, on the other hand, will see high and relatively stable growth over the projection period at an average of 7.3% because of liberalizing reforms which could help to support robust growth and improve currently weak private investment. The country offers an attractive long-term future powered largely by a consuming class that's expected to more than triple to 89 million households by 2025. So this is the best time for any foreign SME to enter India. And do we know that SMEs make up more than 99% of Singapore enterprises and contribute nearly half of Singapore's gross domestic product? Almost half of Singapore's SMEs expect revenue growth to be driven by overseas expansion, but face challenges in financing and lack expertise in foreign markets. Now, how can a Singapore SME capture the opportunities in India despite the challenges that any nation will have for any foreigner? It is either too simple or difficult, as business in India mainly runs on good relationships, and I can vouch for that. Working with a local partner who you can trust and capturing the deficit areas at the right moment. Now, the deficit areas which actually have scope for growth and expansion are the following. We have opportunities in the basic living standard. 56% of Indians lack the basics in living standards spanning nutrition, water, sanitation, energy, housing, and education. How can you position yourself here? The private sector has a substantial role to play, both in creating and providing effective basic services, and this is where the opportunity arises. The second area which has the opportunity is sustainable urbanization. By 2025, India will have 69 cities with a population of more than 1 million each. To achieve sustainable growth, these cities will have to become more livable places, offering clean air and water, reliable utilities, and extensive green spaces. So where can you position yourself here? So India's urban transformation represents a huge opportunity for domestic and international businesses that can provide capital, technology, and planning know-how, as well as the goods and services urban consumers demand. The third area that you can look into is the manufacturing for India in India. Although India's manufacturing sector has lagged behind China's, there will be substantial opportunities to invest in value-creating businesses and to create jobs. So liberalized reforms and public infrastructure investments are making it easier for all types of manufacturing businesses, foreign and Indian alike, to achieve scale and efficiency. Riding the digital wave, the hot topic. 12 powerful technologies will benefit India, helping to raise productivity, improving efficiency across major sectors of the economy, and radically altering the provision of services such as education and healthcare. These technologies could add $550 billion to $1 trillion a year of economic value in 2025. The list of 12 empowering technologies for India fall into 3 types: technologies that digitize life and work, smart physical systems, and technologies for rethinking energy. How can you position yourself here? Partner with local companies to join the wave. The last area, the unlocking the potential of Indian women. Very important area. Women now contribute only 17% of India's GDP and make up just 24% of the workforce compared to 40% globally. In the coming decade, they will represent one of the largest potential economic forces in the country. So how can you position yourself here? Working on closing the gender gap in education and in financial and digital inclusion is an opportunity to tap into the sector. We look forward to our Singapore partners of Spotlight to get the delegation of young SMEs to India so that we can offer and assist them in getting the best opportunities in India in terms of partnerships and know-how. Thank you so much.